Good morning, everyone. As stated, my name is Napaai. I'm a personal librarian for the College of Graduate Studies, but I'm also responsible for other subject areas in the College of Human Sciences, which is information science, communication science, linguistics and world languages, history and politics. I'm here representing my other colleagues of personal librarians. We are a team of 16 personal librarians. We are all responsible for different colleges. When I do a live demo after this presentation, I'm going to show you where you can find your personal librarians in your own disciplines or subject areas. What I'm going to take you through this morning is how you're going to navigate the UNISA library to search for either books or ebooks or articles so that you are able to assist or help yourself, because the key here is to empower you all to be able to use our systems, to be able to write your own assignments and search for things that you need for your research projects, and also to be able to request, because everything that we do now, it's available online. Your book request will be done online, and you can renew all the books online. So this is my this is going to be my overview. Let me just go and move the slides. Some of the slides are not moving. Are they moving on your side?
No, they are not.
Okay.
Yes, it's moving now.
Okay, sure. Thank you. This is what we're going to look at. I'm just going to briefly tell you what you are entitled to as far as general library information is concerned, and how important your MyLife email account it is to us for your correspondence with us, and your MyUNISA password, and I'm going to show you practically on how you're going to search for your e-reserves and all your other recommended books, and how you can use the catalog and some of our subject databases using what we call the library guides. And finally, and how you're going to find the online journals where you can download all the PDFs so that you can work for your assignments. Generally, all the honors and postgraduate diploma students, you are entitled to borrow about 16 books at a time. Those books you can borrow online, and if you are a resident of South Africa, you have about 42 days to keep those books. And for those that are residing not in South Africa, across the borders, you are entitled to keep a book for about 3 months. But take note that the library can recall a book at any given moment. If you have a book that you have borrowed and the system says you can only return it within 42 days, the library has a right to recall the book and say, please bring it back, because somebody else is looking for it. So normally we will give you a period of about 7 days to return the book to us. What happens when you borrow these books, whether it's online or whether you go to any of our branches to have it issued in your name, is that when we send the books to you, we will send these books free of charge. But when you return the books to us, you'll have to pay for them. On the library system, we have all other links to UNISA branches. If you are in Cape Town, if you are in Pietermaritzburg, or if you are somewhere in Rustenburg, Polokwane or Durban. We have branches across the countries. So on the library's website, there is what we call a branch locator, where you can go and check whether you have a branch nearer you, where you can tell the library that the books that I'm borrowing, please, you can send them to this branch. Or you can send because the library is going to use the address that you register with on the system. Our registration office at UNISA, the system there speaks to the library system. So there's an integration. When you use an address of registration as a Polokwane address, when we send these books, automatically we'll send it to Polokwane. If you don't tell us in your request verification that we must send the book somewhere else, we use your registration address. So just take note that when you request, you should tell us where we must send the books, or you can go use some of our branches as your address. If you are in Durban, you can tell us that you want all your books to be sent to the Durban branch. If you are in Polokwane, the same. And then you can go and collect them there. And if you return them to any of our branches, you don't have to pay anything. So that will assist you not to incur any fees by returning the books to us, because we send them freely to you, but when you return them to us, you have to pay back, the postal services or even the courier. But if you send them to our branches, then it's free of charge. We give you 7 days to return the books to us. And after 7 days, the system is going to start charging you. If you don't return the books as soon as possible, we're going to start charging you a daily fee. And our current fee is about 5 rand per day. So you can imagine, you will think this is a small change, but it really does accumulate into a big amount of money. And because our registration system and the library system talks to one another, when your results are out, you won't be able to see your results because we withheld them if you owe anything to the library. So just take note of that. Make sure that you return the books on time and use the branches to do so. All our requests are done online. We don't have cards anymore like in olden days where you have to complete a card and send it through the mail. You go to the library's homepage, you do a title search of a book, and then you click on request, and then you tell us where you want us to send the book to. If you don't tell us anything, we're going to use your registration address to send the book to. And another thing that you have to note is that if you want to check how far your request is, this is an email that you should use, that is libraryenquiries@unisa.ac.za, to inquire how far your request is. Renewing the books is the same, like requesting, it's done online. All of you'll have what we call My Library link on the system. If you go there and you authenticate yourself with your student number and your My UNISA password, you'll be able to see a record of a portfolio of the books that you have. So your record will appear. If you have 5 books under your name, they will all appear there. And if you are not done with the book, even if the library has recalled a book, you can, in some instances, renew the book online. But when it has been recalled, you're not going to be allowed to renew it, because it will tell you that this book is being recalled because another user wants it. But the system doesn't prevent you to renew a book that you are still busy with, especially if it hasn't been recalled. Should you request a book and then it arrives late at your address of residence, you are allowed to go to the system and just renew it so that it gives you enough time to be able to work on the book. So renewing a book is allowed online. only when it has been recalled, you cannot renew it. And one other thing with renewing books is that you can only renew a book twice. The system will not allow you to renew it for the third time. We're thinking that the book is missing, so we will allow you to renew it twice on the system, and the system will not allow you to renew it for the third time, meaning you must send it back. We want to see the physical book. You can always do it nearer a branch. You can take it over the counter if you are in Durban, Cape Town, Polokwane, in any of the branches. You can go there. They want to see the physical book, but you can also request it again if you're not done with it, um, especially when it has not been recalled. In the library, we have a system of personal librarians. Like I said, there's 16 of us. We sort of like your link between you and your academics, especially with the postgraduate students, where we assist you with your research needs. And we also train you, like I'm doing now. We orientate you on how the systems function at UNISA, and we train you on how to use these systems to be able to help yourself, because we want to empower you to go and work on your own and move from honors, masters to PhD level. So we are responsible for helping all the postgraduate students with their research needs. And then we have a unit in the library which are called search librarians, uh, who assist everyone from undergraduate upwards with any of their requests for literature searches. The personal librarians also do literature searches, but our key area of expertise is to assist you and make you aware that you can do things yourself, but when you do get stuck, you're welcome to contact us. We can also help you with your research topics and also with your literature list. But we also have a search unit that will conduct some of your searches if you need to use that section. But their turnaround time, obviously, because they serve everybody, it takes a while for you to get assisted in that unit. But you are welcome to use them. But the ideal is for you to be able to use these systems, because we pay a lot of money to buy all these grant databases. So this is the window to the UNISA library. You know, I'm sure you are aware of this page, your UNISA ACZA, the main universities window. At the top there, you have you have a library link. Sorry about that. You have a library link at the top bar there. The gray bar at the top there indicates that this is your library link, and you also have your My UNISA link. Please take note that don't use the library's page via My UNISA. The two systems do not talk to one another, so we would prefer you to go via the UNISA's main website to get to the library, hence this link, the library link. If you go through that link, it will take you to the library's homepage. But before I even go there, I just want to emphasize the importance of your My UNISA password with your transaction with the library. And make sure that you use your My UNISA password with any of your transactions, because we're going to require it for you to be able to renew your books, whether you want to request or whether you want to open some of our online material like our ebooks and our online journals. Your My UNISA password, it's very important to the library. And your My Life email account is also key for any communication with the entire institution, the library and everyone else in this institution. If you send us an email using your Gmail account, your Yahoo account, we're going to disregard it, or we just delete that email. We're not allowed to answer any private emails. And in most cases, some of these emails go to our quarantine boxes or they go to our junk. So make sure that you use your MyLife email account to communicate with the entire university and us in the library. And your MyUNISA password is actually key in any of your transactions with the library. So this is the library's homepage. It has changed. This is new. Somewhere it changed, I think, at the early February. This is our new revamped page. It looks different. It's got different tabs. You have here what we call the library guides, which the subject librarians, your personal librarians, have compiled. We have other library guides, generic ones, but you all have a library guide, whether you are in sociology, in psychology, in history, any subject that is taught at this institution. All the personal librarians have compiled a guide. And those guides, I'll show you how they look like. They all have everything because we've decided to put everything in one space for your own sake so that you don't, get lost in all the databases that we have, because we have more than 5,000 databases that we subscribe to, be it databases for journal articles, for ebooks, for conference proceedings. So the list is long. So we've compiled these library guides for your own use. As soon as you know how to navigate your library guide, you're free to use the library's homepage, where you can now be able to find, you find other e-resources that you want to look at, and you can search from the main library page. You can find your e-reserves. Your e-reserves are actually the articles that your lecturers have put aside for your specific assignments. So these are called e-reserves, and they can be searched according to course codes. And I know in some honors modules or postgraduate diploma modules, you have to start doing a search so that you can start writing a research paper. So, and you can also be able to find your online journals for particular research project that you want to. And at the bottom of the page of this library homepage, we have services for different categories. So I would urge you to go and look at services for all the postgraduate student link. That's where you'll find a list of all your personal librarian. If by now you don't know who is responsible for your subject discipline, you can contact that person. There's a list of all of us there. We are assigned to different colleges and different departments. That's where you're going to get that list. I'll show you if we have time when we do the live demo. Under the library guides, that first link that is pointed on the library website, you can click on it and then it opens a list of library guides. So you go through that list and you choose your own subject area. Because I'm responsible for information science as a subject discipline, I've just highlighted information science because that's what I'm responsible for. And I'm sure there are students in the group that also belong to this. You can choose any of your subject discipline, and all the guides are basically the same. They've got different tabs which look like this. There's a home page. This is the landing page of the guide. In some instances, you'll find the name of a personal librarian. You can see there's my name here. And then those people that are registered for information science, they can send me an email. There's my email detail. You can call me. I'm not sure if you'll find me, but I'll prefer an email conversation. And all of us as personal librarians will actually prefer you sending us an email and tell us what your requirements are, what you want us to assist with. And this page actually duplicates the library's homepage. All this come from the previous page of the library's website, this is where you can also search for the catalog, where you're going to search for your either ebooks or anything, or your e-resources, or your e-journals, or even your course reading material, which are your e-reserves using your course code. And you can use the tab of books. If you click on that tab, it will take you to this page where we as personal librarians, we've actually listed a list of databases when you want to only search for ebooks. But our catalog has also links to ebook. If you don't want to use ebook databases, if you don't know how to do that, you can search the catalog here and then limit according to ebooks. I've done an example on how you're going to do that. You can search the catalog using any of the keywords, your subject term, or even if you know the title of a book, you can search according to the title or the subject of your study. So this is the main search prompt of the library. When you click on search the catalog, it takes you to this. It also has different options. Here on this side, you have different options. The default on the catalog is title. We assume you know what the title of the book that you're looking for, and just take note that you don't have to search a title using an article. If the title starts with their introduction to whatever, you must don't use the they. Don't use an an introduction to something, an introduction to, you use introduction, you drop a or n or they. You don't use articles when you start searching the title. So you can search according to simple or advanced keywords. You can search the subject. You can even use your course code to search. If you registered for, let's say, psychology, you can use your PSY and then, the course code that is assigned, the module that you are registered with, you can use that module code to search whether there are any recommended books for you or e-reserves, which those are articles that you have to download. At the top there's My Library. This My Library, this is where your portfolio sits. If you have requested books from us, you will see it will list all the books that you have requested. And this is where you're going to now go and renew these books online. You go to My Library, it will ask for your student number, and that My Life, My UNISA password that we require with all the transactions in the library. So your student number and your My UNISA password, and then you are able to open your portfolio to see how many books are under your name. You can also go and check once you've requested the book and then you're still waiting. You can go to My Library and actually find out whether this book has already been issued on my name. So you click on that My Library, you authenticate yourself. It gives you something like this. This is my portfolio. This is my name. And it has all these other links. And these are the books that I have already requested from the library. You can see here that first one. I'm not going to be allowed to renew it because I've reached a quota of 2. So if I want to renew this book, I have to bring it physically to the library so that they can see I still have this book in my possession. And if no one has requested this book, I'll be allowed to, if I'm not done with it, I'll be allowed to request it again. And then this renewed twice will disappear, meaning I can still renew it for the first time, for the second time. So these others, I've renewed them once. I've got only one chance to renew them. If I don't want to renew with them, I can just return them. So you can renew all at once. This will decline to say you need to bring it back, or I can renew selected by ticking on these ones that I haven't renewed. So this is every one of you who have requested anything from us will have this My Library. This is your profile in the library. This is where you go and renew your books. If you click on that e-reserve a link on the first library's homepage. It allows you to search according to your course code. So this is where now you go and search to check if any of your academics have placed, whether it's recommended books or online articles that you need to download. You use your course code. This is a communication science course code. It's COM4805, and then you submit, and then you get this list. So this is the list of reserves. So what the library does with postgraduate students, your level, we keep some of the older e-reserves because we have students who write in January. So if you see the 2022 list still appearing here, it's because we had students who wrote their exams somewhere in January. So we keep a previous year's list. And then after a while, this will disappear. So you have electronic reserves, which are your articles that you must now go according to your assignment. It's a list of articles. You go and select the ones that you want to download so that you can start reading and do your write-up. So they've placed these recommended articles on one side, and they also have recommended books as well on this list. This is your e-reserves. And in some modules, students don't have this luxury of having recommended books put aside and recommended articles put aside, meaning you have to now go and start searching yourself, which I'm going to show how you're going to do that. So when you click on that link, it will give you a list of all the articles reserved for this module. Then you can select the ones that are relevant for your assignment. So I've selected one here, and then it gives you sort of a summary of this reference. Don't go and click here. You must click on this connect to. This is an electronic resource, which now you must connect to it and see what it has. What it does, it will take you to the publisher's page, because these are the articles that we subscribe to, and they appear on the publisher's page. In some instances, the academics have referred to a PDF document. It's not always that you'll go to the publisher's page. In some instances, a PDF version of this particular article will appear. Then you just download it. In some instances, like this one, you go to the publisher's page, you get a table of contents, and then you go to this specific article that is on the previous page. So this is a conceptual analysis of integrated communication article. When you click on that link, it takes you to the publisher's page, where you have to go to the table of contents and identify the article title that you are referred to. So it's an 89 to 107 page. There's your PDF document. You click on it, and then it gives you a version where you can download it. So then you download. You can either have a folder or you save it somewhere. This is how you're going to look at your e-reserves. Back to the catalog page, where you have to, the default is the title. You can change the default from title now. You are doing your assignment. You want to start searching for extra books because you don't have recommended books, or you don't want to borrow any of the books that are recommended for you because you don't have enough time. You rather want to check whether does the library have e-versions of these books so that I can use an online book, which will be quicker for me than requesting books from either from the branches or from here up in Makulnek in Pretoria. You can do a keyword search, which is a broad search here. I've used an example of xenophobia. You can use xenophobia as just a keyword search and start searching. You see here, I've got more than 300 items, and there's no way that you can browse through all of these. But should you be interested, this is the latest book on xenophobia. If you're doing a subject like that and you see there's a print version of this book and you are in Gauteng and you think, I can quickly go to the main library, Pretoria Library, and get this book from the shelf. And what I want to caution you here, just request a book that is available some people don't look at the status of a book. It will say if it's not available, it will have a date that it has to be returned on this date. Just check the availability of the book before you even press the request button. So what I would suggest, if you need something like this, just click on the title of a book where you have the full version of this book, and then at the bottom you'll have the summary of the book where it gives you a table of contents. Because remember, in most instances, if you request a book, you don't use the entire book. Maybe there's a 1 or 2 chapters of a book that you want in this book. Make sure that this book will be able to answer your queries. And there's your request button. After you've interrogated the book, there's a summary, and sometimes there are notes to tell you what this book is all about. And there's a table of contents. Before you press the request button, just interrogate the content of the book before you press request. Once you press that request, you get this request verification version, which I told you about in my introduction, that you must tell us where you want us to send this book. If you don't complete this, we send it to your registration address. But if you tell us that I'm in Pretoria, let me know when the book is available. I'll come and collect from the main counter. Or please email me at this email address. I'll come and collect. Or please send this book to Florida, to Polokwane branch. Once you've looked at the branches that you are nearer, or whether to Durban or to Cape Town, whatever, you tell us what you want us to do with this request. If you don't complete this, we use your currently registered address. It's key that you tell us. If you don't tell us, we use, if you are working in Joburg and you come from Polokwane, but you've registered with the address in Polokwane, we're going to send the book of a person who's in Joburg to Polokwane. So it's crucial that you tell us what we must do with the request. On the same request here, under keywords xenophobia, there's this drop-down menu on your request, because from the previous one, it says the entire collection. The entire collection means we're searching across all the branches in the country. We're searching across all the versions of these books, whether it's e or print. But if you say to the system, I'm not interested in requesting anything, but I want you to limit according to ebooks. I want to see how many ebooks do you have under xenophobia. So from 300, more than 300, we have about 77. So these are all the ebooks that we have. You recognize them with an E, and it says electronic book. And these books are sitting on the websites of publishers. They are not inside this library. We just have a link to the ebook. For instance, if you want to read one of them, you have to open them again, click on the title. It gives you the whole spectrum of the book, the contents of that particular ebook. Data is key. You don't want to go to a website of a publisher not knowing what this whole book is all about, what are the contents of this book, whether it will assist you or not. So you open the title of a book to get to the table of contents to see if there are chapters that you can use from this book for your assignment. And you click on that view the full text ebook, which is at this particular host, and access restricted to this. And once you click there, it wants you to authenticate yourself. Everything that you click, whether it's a link to an ebook, whether it's a link to the article, it's always going to bring this. You have to log in with your student number and your My UNISA password to be able to get in. So it takes you to the publisher's page of that particular ebook. You can see, you can download the ebook, or you can open the full PDF. Remember, with ebooks, you can't download the entire book. The publishers otherwise will go bankrupt. You'll be allowed to look at the book, to read the book online, and you can use 10% of this particular book by going through the table of contents at the bottom. You open the table of contents, you see which chapter you can download. You're allowed to use 10% of each of the ebook, but downloading the entire book, it's a no-no. Because you've logged on with your UNISA credentials, our systems will pick you up that you were trying to download the entire ebook. It doesn't happen that one uses the entire book. You always want parts of the book. Back to the information science library guide. Remember, we looked at the books where you can search the catalog, whether you want print or ebooks. Now I want you to go to the article tab. When you click on that article tab, it takes you to specific databases that are meant for this particular subject area, which is information science. Each and every one of you, you'll have your own list of databases for your own subject areas set there by your personal librarians. So I'm the personal librarian for information science. I've listed some of these databases, knowing that all the students registered in this discipline will be able to find something by using this, because we have a lot of databases. So we've just put a core list of databases that we think you guys will be able to navigate and use for your assignments. So when you get to when you click on that first title, it gives you it actually gives you a prompt of searching. But before you even search on each of these databases, it allows you to search for more databases, because it lists a lot of subject areas. If you are in communication science or in library science or in linguistics, in whatever subject area, it's best for you to go and choose databases, because you know that EBSCO provides a list. You can see here, it's a long list. It goes up to it goes down. So I've just selected a few for this particular exercise. So you select the ones that you think will answer your queries. And once you've done that, you click on OK. Then now it's going to search across about 5 or 6, depending on what you've selected. But before you even put anything in your search prompt, you have on your left-hand side where you can now start with you're refining your search or limiting your searches. So if you have a date that you want to look articles from this date to that date, you can say, here I've used 2015 to 2023. You'll be surprised there are articles that are being published currently this year. So you do this, you do your publishing date selection, and the key is that you only ask for peer review articles, a limit. Peer review, if you want to date your articles, you're allowed to do that. And then you say to the system, I can only read the English language, because if you don't limit according to English, you'll get millions and millions of articles in Russian, in Spanish, in Italian, because these are international databases. So you have to limit according to language. You limit according to date, according to language, but the key is to limit according to only peer review material, because you don't want newspaper clippings or whatever. You want peer review academic articles or journal articles. So my search here is on xenophobia in South Africa as a keyword. This is a keyword. If I wanted this in the title of my title, I would have click on that drop-down menu and say to the system, give me only articles that talk on xenophobia in the title. But because I'm just using this as a keyword, because I wanted to see how many articles are written on xenophobia in the South African context. Fortunately, it's not a long list. It's about 82 articles. And it gives you the title of the article, the summary of the abstract, and some of the subject areas which you can expand when you continue to do the search. If you limit according to the subject, you can use this xenophobia, whether it's a human rights, South Africa. And most of these articles do come as PDF documents because we've paid for them. So you are free. It's a full article that you can download and use it for yourself. Here you can download as many articles as you want. It's not like with the ebook where you can just use the chapters of the book. Here you can download as many as you want. We don't have a limit with downloading of the articles. And on the extreme right here, you have this hour class. This is when you click on that hourglass, you want to look at the entire abstract to get an informed decision whether you want to really download this article. Will this be able to assist you? Because it gives you just a synopsis of what this article is all about. If you want to look at the entire abstract, you click on this hourglass and then it gives you the full abstract. Then you can decide, okay, I want this one. How do you then use this list? And you don't do it one by one. You have these plus signs at the end here. So these plus signs allow you to mark these books. If I click on this one, you see it's yellow. It's like an envelope. It means it's a folder. It means now I want the second article. I'm interested in this one. And then I go down and mark more. So the plus signs are used to mark, meaning you want to mark because you want to either print these. People don't want to print anymore. You either want to export these marked items, which are more than 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even 20 articles. You use the plus signs to mark and put them in the folder. At the end of the day, you go here and say folder view. And in some instances, I couldn't capture it. It appears at the top there. I'll show you if you go live. You go to your folder view, you open what you have marked already, and then you decide, do I email this? Do I save it as a file, or do I export it to either one of my reference management tools, whether it's my Mendeley, RefWorks, whatever I'm using as a management tool for all my references. So mostly you can just click on email and it gives you this. Make sure you don't change this email from, it's not from you, it's from support of EBSCO. You don't change the email, the support from. You just go and you put your own email address, preferably your MyLife email account. You can either want with PDFs, but you're going to get each PDF, the email will be sent separately. So what I would suggest is that you just deselect the PDF, you'll get a link to a PDF, and then you just give it a title. If you're working on psychology, whatever, you say articles on first assignment or second assignment, and then you click on send. Then you get a confirmation email to say this email has been sent. And then you go to your email, you open the links, you get your PDFs where you can read it. At the bottom of the library guide, you have a link that is called Find eJournals. It's when you have been searching and you discovered that this particular article doesn't give me a PDF, but I want a PDF. It means that you can go down in your library guide at the bottom of the list of the guide, at the bottom there under the subject databases, you find a prompt on Find eJournals. You can key the title of a journal because here you want to see whether this journal has an online version somewhere. You put a title there. When you press enter, it takes you here. It's now searching this publication, Journal of African Studies, and the first link will be what you're looking for. You don't have to type the whole title of a journal. You just type enough so that you can pick it up. And then I'm interested in this first one. You press on full text access because that's what you're interested in. And it tells you this academic journals is the one that is hosting this particular title of a journal as an online journal. When you click on that academic journals link, it's a publisher. It publishes this particular title of a journal and it has all the years. It goes down. I've just captured the recent ones. You can even go and search through their archives if you're looking for an older version of this journal. So when you click on this one, let's say I'm interested in the 2023 current ones, it will probably give me 2023 volume 1 or volume whatever, issue number this, and then I go, when I click on this, it gives me the table of contents. Then I can check if this particular article that I'm looking for, it's available in a PDF. Obviously, it will give you a PDF version because we subscribe to this. Then that's where you download it from. Okay, so that was when you want to search for articles. On each and every guide, remember I said there are different tabs for different things, for books, for articles. There's also referencing. There's also reference sources. These are online reference sources where you can go and search for a topic or search for something. Like in politics, if you want to search for colonialism, there are reference sources where you can go and use like your dictionaries or your encyclopedias just to get a hang of the concept, like your decolonialism. If you want to search what that uh, contains, what is it all about, we have online reference sources for this particular subject area. In this case, it will be for political science students to go and look what the term is all about. So we also have what we call referencing, which is very key. Each and every discipline has its own referencing. And I'm sure you know that in most cases, some of the disciplines are using Harvard, and some disciplines are using APA, and some disciplines like the language people are using MLA. So you guys, you have to make sure that you contact your lecturers, your academics, and find out what style is used in the department, because departments use different styles. Harvard is a common one, but there are different versions of Harvard. So for instance, in this area of information science, the department has compiled a guideline for their own students. And I know in education, I think there is a guideline. I'm not sure. And health studies, there's a guideline on how students should reference an author of a book, or if a book is authored by 4 or 5 authors, how do you go about it? How do you reference an article which you picked up from an internet site? How do you reference conference proceeding? How do you reference a newspaper article? So check with your departments, but each and every library guide has a referencing. There are different styles which we've placed here, but with this department, they've got their own guidelines. Check your library guides and make sure you talk to your academics, and before you even submit your assignments or your research papers, make sure you're using a proper referencing style. And if you want, you can register for any of these reference management tools. These are your libraries of references. So if you want to use RefWorks, you can go and register for RefWorks, Mendeley, and we will soon subscribe to EndNote. And I know some of the people are using Zotero, which is mainly used by historians and anthropologists because of their footnoting. So, but talk to your personal librarians if you want to register for all of this. And in one of our next honors and postgraduate diploma training, I'm just going to go through one of these and show you how you can register and how you can export references that you are searching into these platforms where you keep all your references in one place. And these are nice because they will help you with also your citations. If you want to do an in-text citation, these are wonderful tools, but we'll talk about this in one of the upcoming trainings. And lastly, we have a tab that is called Research Support. Go and navigate this SAGE research methods online. If you're now going to be writing your papers very soon, you are going to be able to use this database for any material on research methodology. It's a nice tool. Check on it. We'll also talk about this in our upcoming training. Okay, this is how the library page looks like. Remember, I said to you, you're going to enter from the main UNISA homepage. This is the library link, and it takes you here. I said to you, go and look at services under postgraduate students. There's your list of personal librarians. When you click on it, it will open colleges where you can go and have a look. And on this list, we also have what we call the branch locator, where you can check which is the branch that is available for me to use as a sort of like a deposit. If you tell us that you want to look at you are in Nelspruit and you want us to send a book to Nelspruit, when you request, you must tell us that. Okay. We have about 30 minutes for me to go through what I was talking about. Remember, I said your best bet is to familiarize yourself with your library guides. And as soon as you are comfortable with your library guides, you will be able to use this. So when you click on library guides, you get a list of library guides, depending on what you are registered for. So all of these are alphabetical according to the subject areas that are taught at this institution. You can scroll down and check your own subject, but you'll see in the midst of all of this, there are other generic library guides. If you want, you can say, I want these guides by subject, and then it lists all the subject areas. You don't want, and then you won't see the generic ones. So I was showcasing this one because I'm responsible for information science. So this is how the library guide looks like. And we duplicated all the links from the previous page, from the main library page. I showed you how you can search for books from this tab of books, or you can just search the library catalog from here, and it takes you to this page. So there are several options of searching. You can search, the default will be the title, where we assume you know exactly what you're looking for, or you can use all these other options to search. What I started with is that you can use your course codes to search under your specific module, where you can go and search any of the course codes that you registered for to check whether your academics have placed a list of books that you must consult or a list of articles that you need to download. So I've used communication science course code, and this is what is displaying. There are recommended books for this module, but I'm interested in the electronic reserves. There was a question that, can electronic reserves be searched in any other way? There is no any other way except through the library catalog where you can find them. You're not going to get your electronic reserves on Google Scholar or anywhere else, only on the library's homepage under your course code. So these are the articles that are reserved for this particular module. It will depend what your assignment is all about. You just go and look at your assignment and you download according to your specific assignment. It doesn't mean you have to go through all of this and download them one by one. You look at the topic of your assignment. There's a reason why the list is this long, because there's probably maybe a set of assignments that you must choose. So you choose the articles according to what your topic is all about. Remember this, you have to authenticate yourself first using your student number and that My UNISA password as a student. You authenticate yourself because we've paid for all of this. So this is not for everyone. This is only for our own UNISA students. Remember, I told you that some of these links will either take you to the publisher's page, where you have to go to the table of contents and you look at the title of your the article and download from there. But in this instance, the link that I've chosen, it takes you directly to the PDF where you can just now go and see, this is it's a chapter, which it comes from a book, and they've just replicated it as an online article. So there's a download option. If you want to download, you can do that. But in some instances, it will just give you a link to a publisher's page. Pardon this because I'm logged in. It will give you, if you click on one of the articles, it will say this electronic resource where it takes you directly to the publisher's page. But in other instances, if it will automatically, this one, it's wrong. Something is not right with this one. Return to browse. And another thing I want to tell you guys, remember the 404 error message. We are aware of that. So if you encounter the 404 or error message, it means something is wrong. You just close that page and retype what you were doing. It doesn't mean the system is off. It's been going on for almost 2 years now. Our ICT is looking at it, and there's no way that they haven't resolved it yet, but we are aware of that. So look at the difference. The other one referred you straight to the PDF. The other one refers you to the database where you're going to find this full text articles, where you can just view the PDF, and then it will also give a download option. There's your download option here. So these e-reserves are set up in different formats. Others give you directly the PDF version, the actual article that you can download straight away, and the others will take you to a publisher's page where you'll find the PDF. You click on the PDF version for your download. So it's different ways of working on this. So these are your e-reserves. You go to the library's homepage and you search according to the e-reserve link, your course codes, or you go to, you use your course code to search any course code, you check. And I know in some instances, like in some of the modules in information science, don't have course codes that are searchable either as e-reserves or recommended books. So the students that are studying information science are being trained to do the searching themselves. So they won't find anything under their course codes, meaning they must go and search the catalog. If you go and search the catalog, you either search a title, but before I search the catalog, I just want to show you this My Library link. Here you can go and see what's under your name because I'm already logged in. This is the screen that I've captured for you. This is my profile. And then these are the 11 items that I've checked out. If you want to renew, you just tick, 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 or you can say renew selected by selecting a few, or you can renew all of them. And the first one won't be renewed because it's already been renewed twice. And in some instances, the system will tell you that this book is already on hold. We need it back. Somebody else has it, wants to request it. So they've put a hold on it to say, there's a person that is looking for this book. Please return it as soon as you can. If you don't return it on time, you're going to receive fines. And if the fine escalates and becomes this huge amount, you won't get your results. Remember that. Okay. So this is your My Library. I'm sorry, my mouse is just stuck here. I don't know where I am now. Okay, back to the library. Remember, I said you must go and look at the services under the postgraduate students and where you'll find the branch locator where you can, see whether you can use any of the branches for returning books that you have requested. But I want us to go and search the catalog. You can use this drop-down menu and search using a keyword search. If you don't have books reserved for you, I've used xenophobia as a search term, and I'm looking at the entire collection, and then I submit or I enter. So this is what I got. And if I'm interested in this book, I'll have to open this book to see if the content of this book is what I really need before I even press the request button. So you'll have a summary of the book and you can read more about this book, or you can look at the table of contents of this book and say, okay, I'm working on xenophobia and I can see this is relevant for me. Then you can go and press the request button. As soon as you press this request button, if you don't tell us anything and you just submit, we're going to send this book to the registration registration address that we have on the system. Or you can say, please email me, I'll come and fetch, or send it to Durban, Polokwane, whatever. This is what you must verify with us. Otherwise, we send it through to your normal address that you've registered. Return to browse allows you to browse for more. Remember, this is an entire collection. It gives you print and e-books. So you can either say to the system, I don't have time for requesting. I just want to look at the e-books that I can use online to write my assignment. And then you go and limit this according to e-books. And then you search again. So out of more than 300 items, you are left with 77. And so these are your online books, which you can now, before you even go to the website where the publisher's page is. Pardon this patron view thing. It's because I'm logged in. That's why I'm getting this funny script. So you open the title of the book, you see this is an ebook, and then you go and look at the entire book on this host, which is EBSCO. Before you even go there, just again, look at the summary of the book and look at the table of contents and see, is it worth your data to now go and look at this entire book on EBSCO. So we can click on EBSCO, where you'll find a PDF. In some instances, some publishers allow you to download this book, but within a day or two, it's going to disappear. But at your level, I would advise you to go to a table of contents of a book at the bottom and just download one or two chapters that you can use, and make sure you reference properly, because these are not articles, these are book chapters. When you now write up your references, you must acknowledge that you use a chapter from this book and reference properly. So this is how you're going to look at some of these ebooks. Okay, so back to the library catalog. I've shown you how you can search for your e-reserves and how you can search the catalog. Now I want to go back to the library's guide, information science guide. We've looked at the books and we've looked at your course reading material, which are your e-reserves. I quickly want to show you now how you're going to search for articles. Remember, I said in each database, we've placed subject databases for specific subject areas. In all your disciplines, you'll have a list of databases that you must use. So I'm going to use this one as an example, which is it's a multidisciplinary database, Academic Search Ultimate, but I want you to choose more because I know EBSCO is hosting a list of subject areas. It's not only for information science, it's only for health students, for education students. Depending on what you are registered for, You select according to your subject areas. You select as much as you can, where you're thinking, I'll be able to get any of these sources from some of these subject areas. So in information science, which is part of library and information science, I've selected the ones that I think will assist me with my research. And then I go and say, it's okay, I want about 6 or 7 of these articles of these databases. So it's going to search across databases. So you can show them all now. You can see you've got more than 5 or 6 of them. But before you even key anything, you go and say, I'm interested in peer review. Forget about full text because you are going to get the PDFs. You want peer review. If you are interested in certain dates, you insert your dates here so that you know what you're looking, it's not too old. So my previous search was on xenophobia. This time, let's do in the United States. So when you start searching, the system will prompt you. I can say xenophobia in South Africa like I did, or choose to, if I say xenophobia in South and then it says, do you want South Africa? Then I say, yes, I'm looking for that. And this is my keyword search, and I search. Okay, I have 109 articles. Journal articles on this whole topic, but I want to limit according to language because fortunately all of them are in English, so I don't have to limit. Sometimes you find that you have either Chinese, Spanish, other languages, so you can just leave the list as it is. Remember, I told you that you have a folder here, and it tells you this folder is empty when I put my cursor here. And I don't have the folder view because I haven't selected anything for this demonstration. Let's go with this and see if my folder now has an item. It was empty. It has now number 1. I can go for number 4 and even number 5. So I've got the 3 that will help me to write my assignment. I can either open the folder here or I can just go to my folder view, meaning it's now, I'm now looking at these 3 articles that I want, and all of them are in PDF. I'm happy. I'm going to get the full article. If you are with RefWorks, Mendeley, or EndNote, or whatever reference management tool you're using, you can export this there. But if you haven't registered, you can just email the list to yourself, which will come with your PDFs. I don't want HTML. I don't want a PDF because it's going to send me 3 different emails. I just put my email address there. And then I'm going to get the list as is with the links to PDF. And then it confirms that this has been sent through. Then I can go back. If you have about 2 assignments and then you say you want to clear this and you start another search on whatever topic you want. Finally, I just want to show you now how you're going to go to your referencing for all departments. In one of our trainings, we'll use one of these as an example, the management tools, where you're going to put all your references. It's going to be like your library of references. And then the style of referencing, of course, I said you must contact your academics, and each department has its own way of referencing. And later on, we're also going to look at the research support tab, where we're going to look at the research methodology, but go and explore, because all these databases, all these library guides are the same. We have placed some of the research methodology stuff for your use. You can consult us at any given moment. We can help you with any of the methods that you want to look at, but we'll also have some training at a later stage on methodologies and how to find a lot of articles on specific research methods for your particular research projects that you will be undertaking. And Samo, I think this is where I'm going to end.